Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Tan. Welcome to our session, Kumi Now. If you are new to Kumi Now, you can find more information about us through our kuminow.com page. So you can see that. And then we also have a YouTube channel that I've linked in the chat. So today we are really excited to welcome our dear friend Issa Amro, who will be speaking on Hebron or Al-Khalil in Arabic and settler colonialism. So Issa, he is a human rights defender and activist from Hebron. We have collaborated and worked with him closely over the years as Sabil. And it's also an honor to have him in the room with us once again. He has spoken previously for a Kumi Now session earlier last year. He also was recently nominated, I believe, for the Nobel Peace Prize for his work and activism. So congrats, Issa. And we leave the floor to you. You can speak for around 30 minutes, and then we can have a Q&A session if people want to ask you questions.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to start my speech to thank everybody who is supporting the Palestinian cause. I want to thank all who really protest or support projects in Palestine, who really care about the Palestinian cause and the Palestinian people. I think your work is protecting us, and me personally, I'm protected because of your work, because of your support. And many families, they always tell me, Isa, don't forget to send our greetings, our acknowledgement of the international supporters and to the international solidarity groups. Every tweet, every post, every word you say anywhere online or in your community makes huge difference. We feel stronger with your support. We feel that we are not alone. We feel that our cause is growing with your support, with your protection, with your hard work. And you chose to be in the right side of history. So thank you very much. This is first. Second, I want to tell everybody that we are staying, we are remaining on the ground. We are not leaving our communities. We are not leaving our houses. We are not leaving our cities. Palestinian people now they see existence is resistance. So Palestinians know that the Israeli occupation is trying to transfer us. The Israeli occupation is trying to displace us. The Israeli occupation is trying to remove our Palestinian identity, and they are trying to create facts in the ground. We say no to that by staying, remaining, and working hard to expose these policies and this work. Third, before I describe the current situation in West Bank, third, me and Youth Against Settlements and our organization, Friends of Hebron, we all work every day to document the human rights violations, to support the Palestinian families to remain and stay in their communities, to expose the human rights violations and the apartheid, the segregation policies, and we will never give up our non-violence resistance. The situation in Palestine, especially in the West Bank, it was really hard and difficult before October 7th. After October 7th, the Israeli occupation and the Israeli fascist government used the opportunity they got of the blind support from the international community and the green light they got from many big countries to kill Palestinians, to dehumanize Palestinians, to destroy Palestinian houses, and to destroy Gaza completely. After they finished and in Gaza, and they have no other targets to destroy in Gaza, they came to West Bank. So after the ceasefire in Gaza, we are facing an announced war from the Israeli occupation, announced war and displacement of the Palestinian people. Before the ceasefire, we were facing an unannounced. Okay, now in the West Bank they announced the war on us. To start from Jenin, they they are destroying Jenin refugee camp. They are, occupying the city, completely reoccupying Jenin, which means destroying Oslo peace agreement, destroying the last
I think Issa lost his internet, so we can just wait for him to return with us.
He's muted.
in Jenin now. They are, dismantling the Palestinian Authority. They are, violating Oslo. Now they are, Oslo is not existing anymore. Oslo peace agreement. So they are in area A, and they don't want to leave. They are staying. They demolished many houses. They forced many families to leave the camp, the refugee camp, and really the people are suffering a lot there in Jenin. In Tulkarem, they do the same. They are occupying the city. They are in the city. They destroyed the streets, the roads, the houses. People are displaced. We are talking about tens of thousands of Palestinians are displaced, even to Salfit and to Bas, Qapatia. So in the northern part of West Bank, they're really making our life there very hard. Something big is happening in the West Bank. Restrictions, movement restrictions. To move from one city to another, it's almost impossible. So they closed the majority of the checkpoints in the West Bank. They separated many cities from each other, many communities from each other, from many towns from each other. We are talking about 1,000 movement barriers and checkpoints. And whenever you are caught at a checkpoint as a Palestinian, you are beaten, you are dehumanized, you are detained for a very long time, and it's a daily routine to be beaten, to be detained, to be dehumanized by the Israeli soldiers and by sometimes the Israeli settlers. And they steal your money. They steal your money. I just today in Hebron, I got a video of friends who were detained, and one of them had only 100 shekels. It's around 25 euros or $30. They stole it from him, and told me, Issa, I was going to buy milk to my child, and he has, a newborn child. This is the situation. Soldiers steal. Soldiers beat up Palestinians, detain Palestinians, close the checkpoints. For example, in Hebron H2, the checkpoints, we say when the checkpoint is open. We don't say now when the checkpoint is closed, because it's closed almost, and it's done by soldiers by themselves. They decide. We are under the mercy of the soldiers' ideology and the soldiers' mood, because the soldiers are acting as a militia, not as an army. About other things, which is very important. Palestinians in West Bank, they suffer from unemployment. We are talking about hundreds of thousands of Palestinian employees. They are jobless now. They lost their jobs after October 7th. Not only that, we're talking 15 months without any income. The Palestinian Authority employees, they don't get salaries. They get only few, a part of their salaries every few months. Why? Because the Israeli finance minister, who's Smotrich, is cutting the taxes which they collect in behalf of the Palestinian Authority, because Palestinians don't have free borders. So all the goods which is coming to Palestine has to pass from Israeli borders, Israeli ports, and they take taxes and they should give it back to the Palestinian Authority. They take the majority of the money and they don't give back the taxation to the Palestinian Authority, and they gave a lot of this money to Israeli settlers and to Israeli settlements. Something else, raid, city raids. I'm not talking about Jenin and Nablus and Tulkarem. I'm talking about Hebron, Bethlehem, Ramallah, Kalkilia, Salfit, Jericho. Every night we have house raid. They go into houses, they destroy the furniture, they beat up everybody in the house, women, men, elders, children, the soldiers. They detain people, they dehumanize them, intimidate them, then the soldiers leave. A few days ago, the soldiers at a checkpoint, main checkpoint in Hebron, take the school books of the Palestinian children, who are 12, 13, 11, and they drew Stars of David on the books covers. Star of David. The soldiers, when they raid houses, they drew many times Star of David on the houses, on the walls, on the main gates, the main doors. This is what's going on. This is how the soldiers behave. Sexual harassment to women and men, even when they detain them or whenever they pass the checkpoints. People are so afraid. People, they are thinking they will be deported, they will be displaced. There is a fear in the community about displacement, about settler violence and army violence. Area C now, it's a target for settler violence. Every day we document settler violence, settler pogroms in certain communities. We're talking about 28 communities they left because of settler violence. And the settler violence is protected by soldiers. And even the soldiers with the settlers, they do violence together. They terrorize Palestinians together. This is what's going on in certain areas in the West Bank. So we talked about raid, we talked about unemployment and the economy, we talked about the settler violence and the army violence towards the Palestinian people all over West Bank. This is what's going on in Hebron and H2 in Hebron. The Israeli government is trying to create facts in the ground. We as Palestinian families don't live a normal life. We don't feel safe in our houses because of settler violence and army violence. We have no social life. So what it means that we don't have a social life, Ramadan is coming. We don't have a social life because nobody is allowed to come to visit you. So we're talking about 800 Palestinian families. They are disconnected from their relatives, from their friends, and from their community. So I can't invite my friends to my house in Ramadan. Ramadan is coming, so you can't invite them. You can't go to them because the checkpoints, the majority of the time, it's closed. So you are alone. You feel alone, disconnected. Journalists, Palestinian journalists are not allowed. Only international and Israeli journalists are allowed to visit us. But Palestinian journalists, Palestinian doctors, Palestinian craftsperson, if you want any kind of maintenance. I'm mentioning 800 families who live in H2 is 40,000. But who is directly affected by the closure and the restrictions? It's around 800 Palestinian families. In general, all Palestinians are affected, but who's directly affected, for this is around 800 Palestinian families alone. No services and no social life and no security. As a family, it's not easy to stay with that, to live with that. So they are making it harder and harder for us to stay and remain. Something else, we are not allowed to have a Palestinian flag in our t-shirts. So no Palestinian signs, no Palestinian songs. So they are removing our identity. On the other hand, what we see around us is army, soldiers, blue and white signs, settler visitors, music, Israeli music, Hebrew music around us. So they are forcing their culture, forcing their identity on us without any rights, because we as Palestinians who are living in this part, even all over West Bank, but who is living this part with the settlers, we are under the Israeli military law, which means we are guilty until we are proving innocent. Guilty until proving innocent. You have to prove that you are innocent, not them. And non-violent resistance is not allowed. So this interview with you is illegal. This meeting with you is illegal for me as a Palestinian. Why? Because I live under the Israeli military law. Freedom of expression is not allowed. General assembly is not allowed. On the other hand, my neighbors, the Israeli settlers, they are living under the Israeli civilian law with full political and civilian rights and protection and support and funds and donations from many organizations all over the world to do whatever they want, to survive, to have a free life. Just before I talk to you, an Israeli settler cut my flower. I told the soldier, he told me it's not my business. They cut many trees for me and for many other Palestinian families. They stole my water tanks because they don't want me to have water, because we have a shortage of water. They reduced the amount of water we drink to, by 40%. It's after the war. Electricity, we don't have enough electricity, so we do turns because Hebron needs 150 mega. They sell us only 95 mega, and we are not allowed to generate electricity by our own. We are not allowed to dig water wells or to go into the Palestinian water aquifers and get water, pump water out. We are not allowed. If you do that, you will be arrested, the tools will be confiscated, and you will be punished, and the machines will be confiscated. This is the life in H2 in Hebron. It's very difficult life. It's very hard life. They are really making our life harder and harder to add to the security something called surveillance. Blue Wolf and Red Wolf. We are with the surveillance. They have cameras with face recognition at the checkpoints, at the streets. Whenever you get into your house, whenever you get out to your house, with the surveillance, they use us as a simulation object to test this technology on us first. We don't know. We have nothing to say. Families, they ask me what type of data they collect. Women, they tell me, Issa, do they see us in our bedrooms or not? Because the cameras are everywhere and we don't know what they do with it. And they with the Blue Wolf and the Red Wolf, they do it in a kind of a way to track us, to spy on us, to classify us, and to profile us as Palestinians. And the same surveillance is not including Israeli settlers. So if a settler attacks me, they don't identify him with this surveillance. They only identify me if I defend myself. It happened to many Palestinian children who were arrested for defending themselves from Israeli settlers' children. And the children, Palestinian children, they're arrested, and the Israeli settlers are not. Why? Because the Palestinian children, they are under the Israeli military law. But the Israeli settlers, they are under the Israeli civilian law. Ambulance, if you need an ambulance, it's not possible for emergency cases. If you have any maintenance in your house, you have to wait for days. So if your fridge is broken, you have to call the Israeli civil administration, the military, to wait till they allow you to bring in the maintenance person, which almost impossible to do this kind of coordination. This is the situation in Hebron. This is the situation in all over West Bank. They are trying to create facts in the ground to make our life miserable and miserable, to force us to leave and to be refugees in other countries. They are saying it loud now that Palestinians should find another place to live. They are not welcome. Smotrich said it, and he's doing it, and there is an absolute silence from the international community And the international community, unfortunately, is blindly supporting the Israeli occupation, and they are contributing to what is happening to us these days. They are talking about annexation, annexing West Bank to Israel without rights, without the people. They want to annex the land without us. And there are a lot of settlement projects. The settlement projects are 4 to 5 times doubled in the last 2 years with the current Israeli government. This is why my speech today. If you have any questions, I am ready to answer.
Thank you so much, Issa, for the update on the situation. It's quite devastating. And I think there's a few questions. People wanted to know more about also the other parts of the West Bank as well. Someone asked that there are reports that 40,000 Palestinians or over 40,000 Palestinians were forcibly displaced in Tokorom, Jenin, in the northern parts of the West Bank. And they're curious about where they're currently located. And they're not allowed to return, correct? Like the people who were displaced in the West Bank.
Again,
There were 48,000 Palestinians that were displaced over the last few weeks in Tokaram and Jenin, and someone asked where they were located now, like where they are now. Yeah.
It's more than 40,000. It's hundreds. It's tens of thousands of people left their homes in Jenin, in Tulkarem, in Salfit, in Tubas, in Hebron, in Area C. Many people left. They go to their relatives, they stay with their relatives, they go outside Palestine, they go to other cities in Jenin and Tulkarem because the numbers are big. They have shelters in schools. As Gaza, they stay in shelters in schools. And it's very cold now in Palestine, and the weather is not helping. It's -1, -2 and during the night. So many people are really sick and tired, and they are not able to sleep because of the current weather.
Thank you, Issa. From your perspective, what are the most urgent actions for us to focus on? Is that to try to get our governments to stop funding Israel, trying to bring delegations? Are there any like advice that you would say for someone who wants to organize an event or do something? What should they focus on?
You be creative. You are doing great work, a lot of you. We want to increase more awareness. We want the people to know more. We want more media coverage. We need more you to inform your politicians about what's going on, and for sure to stop the funding of the occupation. Send donations to organizations and to people on the ground. And delegations are very, very important. You are welcome to come and visit us. And we feel stronger with your visits and with your support. Be creative and make supporting Palestinians and supporting Palestinian cause as part of your daily routine.
Thank you so much, Issa. And someone also asked, you said a little bit about this already, but how is the situation affecting Ramadan, or what are people's fears coming into Ramadan, which is going to start at the end of this week?
People are very poor, and there is no income for many, many families. Ramadan is a holy month for everybody to pray. So even the right to go to pray in Al-Aqsa Mosque is violated. The right to go to pray in Al-Ibrahimi Mosque is violated. So there are huge restrictions on people and to pray. People are afraid to go to the mosques, even all over. So Ramadan this year is different. People don't have enough food. They don't have enough, of what they need, of their basic needs. They have no jobs. So Ramadan is very difficult month this year.
Thank you, Issa. Let me see if there's a few other questions, I think. Someone asked if I think you also explained this, but maybe without describing the word annexation. And someone wanted to understand more about what the annexation looks like now in the West Bank. maybe you could talk more about the settlements or something.
Yes, annexation. What it means, annexation. It's a very important question, by the way. Annexation. Israel is really controlling West Bank, and they are imposing the military law on Palestinians and the civilian law on the Israeli settlers. But about land ownership and land confiscation, it's really harder for the Israeli settlers to take the land. With annexation of West Bank, the Israeli authorities can confiscate even private Palestinian properties. Now they are not able to confiscate the private properties and the private land. After the annexation, they can come to my house, private house, take it, confiscate it for public use. It doesn't need military use. They could confiscate any land in the West Bank for military purposes. Now they can confiscate in the West Bank anything for civilian public purposes, which it's for the settlers, not for us. This is one point which is very important legally. Third, they can build however they want. They can speed up building settlements. So they can take more land, they can build more, and all the procedures of tendering, planning, and tendering, it will be removed. They will go directly to tender and building settlements. And it means that a lot of agriculture farms and factories and economical activities will be supported from the government, and it will not be considered settlement goods as well. So it will be part of Israel. Education of certain settlements, the football teams will be included, and it will be, they are normalizing life between settlements and Israeli cities all over, and for sure reducing the number of the Palestinians. So the Israeli settlers will get much more rights, and Palestinians in these areas, they will get less rights and less even basic needs. So even we are the ones who are living in the targeted areas. For example, I live in H2. I will not get the same rights as someone living in East Jerusalem, a Palestinian living in East Jerusalem, or a Palestinian living in Israel. They including the land without us.
Thank you so much for your description of that, and I hope people can use it to explain annexation to their communities and things. Someone asked if people given the current situation, how can people visit you? Can people still visit you if they're internationals to your house? I think you're muted, Issa. Wait.
Yes. As-Sabil continued bringing delegations, and many organizations, they bring delegations. It's much less, but we need people to come. So come, please, help us, support us, stay with us, think with us how we can make the occupation and apartheid costly.
Thank you, Issa. And yes, we have, if you visit fosna.org, we have a timeline of delegations that you can sign up for to visit. And usually they also give you a 3-month visa. So some people, they like to volunteer and things, and maybe Issa, your group might have, be open to.
We need volunteers. We need many
Yeah.
volunteers. We do a lot of work now. We're really achieving a lot of good things. We need lawyers to help us. We need researchers. We need media activists. We need people who really willing to contribute. So come and help us, and you are needed, and it's really doing well.
Yes, so come on a Sabil delegation and you can stay and volunteer for Issa. I think that could be a good method to volunteer. Someone also asked if you know of the situation in Bet Umar, which is near Hebron. So I wonder if there's any news about the situation there.
Yes, there is Betumar. Yeah, my God, daily raid to Betumar. Every day almost, the Israeli military raids Betumar, and they are arresting people. Yesterday or the day before yesterday, they arrested 6 people in Betumar. Betumar now with the new road is isolated. It's alone and it's closed, and people used shortcuts and field roads to go in and out from Betumar. So Betumar is completely isolated, as the other cities and compounds who are isolated and separated from other cities.
Thank you, Issa, for the update. Are there any other questions for Issa? I don't see any in the chat. To answer Colin, your question, I believe EAPPI is active. They're currently active in major parts of the West Bank, so they continue to do that work. But if anyone else has questions, you can put it in the chat. Seems like there's no other questions, but I did link, Issa, your social media accounts, your Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, because I know you post a lot of updates there. So for everyone, you can follow his social media and he will continue to update you there. Are there other ways, Issa, that we can stay connected to your work or support other organizations that are kind of doing similar work to you?
Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. I repeat again, you are doing great work. We feel it, we see it, and we want you to continue doing it.
Thank you, Issa. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thanks to you.
Okay, so we will transition now to an action session. So a few people at the beginning, Issa, feel free to leave. Okay, I think he left already. But I think some people put a few action things that they're doing near the beginning of the session. So feel free to, if you want to raise your hand and talk about those actions. For now, I'll put the kuminow.com action page. And like Issa said, we are doing delegations, and delegations are currently one of the most important things that people can do if they have the capability and means to do so, to go and show international presence and international solidarity. So I'll link FOSNA's website, since they have been the main organization helping Sabio do things from the US. But they also if you're not from the US, you can still go on one of these delegations. So you can contact them and see. So in March, for example, we have, I think, 2 delegations, one that will be focused on Lent, and the other one is going to be during Holy Week. So if you would like to be present there during that time, you can also join them. So again, you can visit FOSNA's website to look at the timelines and whatever you need to register for these delegations. They're all available there. And again, if you have anything else that you would like to say, you can raise your hand. In terms of the actions that I want to highlight this week, for the Kumi page, some of the actions have remained the same from last week, but one action that I wanted to point out is a call from Columbia and Bernard students. So on February 21st, they expelled 2 students who were protesting. And I think these students are currently about to undergo a hearing for their appeal. And so they've requested that today be a day that if you have the time to call 2 individuals, one of them is the judge who's an administrator at Bernard, and she's kind of overseeing all of this, but she has been pretty biased towards for the administration. So people are trying to pressure her to kind of like resign these expulsions. So on the action page, there's a screenshot of the numbers that the students have requested you call today if you have the chance. So you can call them, and then you can also send emails to the Columbia and Bernard admin to advocate for these students. So that's all on the action page. We also have the ongoing FOSNA campaign to block Mike Huckabee's confirmation. And then there's a few other campaigns from Canada and the UK, so you can take a look at that.